So you've been lifting the iron for many years, and for whatever reason, you're starting to think maybe transition a little bit more towards body weight training might be my thing for whatever reason. And this is a great thing to do, but you have a little bit of a concern over, I don't want to lose any progress. I don't want to lose strength or muscle or anything, which is a legitimate concern. Because a lot of people who say, I don't want to do the weights anymore, I'll go right to the body weight training, they give it a try for a few weeks, things start going downhill for reasons I'll talk about in a second. So here in this video, I wanted to share with you, if you are interested in giving the body weight stuff more of a try from the weights, this is going to help you retain your results and even go beyond what you have now. Okay? So number one, do your homework. Building muscle and strength with bodyweight training is really no different from lifting weights. It's still overload, progression over time, resistance on the muscles. Everything's exactly the same. The only difference is how you accomplish it. It's like driving a car to work versus driving a motorcycle to work. You're still taking the same road to the same destination, but you operate a motorcycle differently than you would operate a car. And if you try and operate your motorcycle like you would a car, it ain't gonna be so great. So learn how to use the bodyweight training in a progressive and productive way. Why I always recommend books like Combat Conditioning. Supplement that with C-Mass if you're interested in building muscle. That's kind of one of your objectives. Also, the Cavatello brothers came out with the Get Strong routine, which is great for people who are getting started with bodyweight training. It's a 16-week program, spelled out to the letter, really super simple, easy to follow program. It couldn't get easier. That's a good way to go about it too. Links to those books is down below. All right, what else do we got? Number two is stick with the basic power and strength bodyweight moves. There's tons of ways you can do bodyweight training, and you don't want to get stuck into a program or a style of training that's not conducive to building strength and muscle. So focus on moves like the dips, pull-ups, push-ups, lunges, advanced squats, levers, things that are really going to challenge your strength and muscle so that you can build as much strength and muscle as possible. Also along those lines, invest in a set of gymnastics rings or a good suspension trainer. This is going to add even more challenge to basic movements like your push-ups and stuff. And it also gives you the ability to mimic a lot of gym-based kind of bodybuilding style movements like chest flies and dumbbell curls and tricep extensions and even hamstring curls. So that way you have a direct carryover from your old bodybuilding style movements to a body weight equivalent. What else we got here? Rethink your techniques. While a lot of things are very similar from a weightlifting exercise to a bodyweight exercise, they are done in different ways. Good example are squats. The rules with bodyweight squats is different from barbell back squats. The rules for push-ups are different than bench press. And the rules for bridges are different than deadlifts. Not that one is right or wrong, it's just you're using a different vehicle, you operate it in a different way. And if you want to know more on these sorts of things, particularly how bridges are different than deadlifts, push-ups are different from bench press, bodyweight squats are different than like barbell squats, let me know down below. I'll make videos on that as well. But the bottom line is get out of your head that there's a certain way, that there's like one right way to squat. There's one right way to do a horizontal press. Because if you get stuck doing your bodyweight training as if you're weightlifting, it's gonna hold you back. You've gotta learn to bend the rules a little bit. And that's all I'll say on that for now. I'll make more videos on that in the future if you want. And then finally, one of the things that a lot of people have trouble with when they transition from weights to body weight is it exposes a bunch of little weaknesses that they may not have known about before. Things like hip strength, mobility, stability in the hip strength, and so on. Now, it doesn't mean that the weights were bad and it didn't address these things. It's just you may not have addressed these to that degree before. So what ends up happening a lot is when people do advanced bodyweight exercises, they're not feeling the move is doing what they really want it to do, like pistol squats. They're like, that's got me wobbling all over the place. That's not a strength move, it's a balance move, or it's a stability kind of move. And you're absolutely right, it is a balance move for now, because it's addressing something that's a weak link. For me, it was my hip strength and my stability. Or it could be shoulder stability or tension control somewhere. Whatever it is, if it's not giving you exactly what you want, you feel it in weird ways, that doesn't mean anything is wrong. It just means you're kind of addressing something that needs to kind of catch up. And once it does, those pistol squats will be a strength move that'll make your quads scream. Or the push-ups, once your wrists get nice and strong, will cease to be something about wrist mobility. So if it's addressing a weakness, don't worry too much about it right now. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and also check out the books as well. Till then, be fit, live free.